Cooking Today is brought to you by Food Lion and My Essentials Pantry. Get your lion's share.
They are quickly becoming the area's most sought-after chocolatiers. From a small startup, they're now being asked to fill orders for 10,000 bonbons for major Charlotte companies. And Donald Trump himself has asked them to make chocolates for a special event. They've become so popular, they've moved into a new space at 7th Street Public Market. And today, they're here to show us all how to make chocolate truffles. We welcome Lynn McKay and Mike Schaefer.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming back.
Well, thanks for having us.
And congratulations on your new space.
Thank you very much.
How exciting for you.
It really is. It's been a great move. We love the market. It's wonderful to be in Uptown.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been a really great transition.
And you two are willing to share your secret for chocolate truffles with us today?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Certainly.
And you claim it's very easy?
It's very
super easy. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's probably one of the easiest chocolate confections you can make. It's 3 ingredients. It's a very simple ratio, and there are so many things that you can do with it.
Okay.
What we're going to do today is a truffle, and a truffle is basically just a ganache. You can add different amounts of chocolate or cream. You can have a ganache that's very thin that you can pour over a cake, or you can have one like we're making today that makes these wonderful truffles here. These are macaron that we make. They have a ganache on the inside as well.
People have been munching on those all morning here at the station. And every time they bite into them, their eyes roll up in their head and they go, oh.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear.
And we also use ganache to put in the bonbons that we create as well. So it's a really versatile product. It's very, very easy to make.
Now, because you guys are premier chocolatiers, I can imagine that you're very picky about the cream that you use.
Absolutely. You need to make sure, we're most picky about the cream because you need to make sure it's always the same fat content. When we're doing this, the ratio that we're talking about is the ratio of fats to the ratio of liquid. These two things don't normally like to mix, cream and chocolate. So we're going to heat the cream up a little bit. It's going to melt the chocolate a little bit. And then we're going to use an immersion blender here that's going to make the chocolate particles into really small, little, tiny droplets.
Okay.
And they'll be suspended in the cream.
All right, let's get started then.
Excellent.
So we've got we've got 8 ounces of really good dark chocolate. It's very important to get a really good dark chocolate when you're making this recipe.
Because the chocolate's going to be the star of the show.
Yeah,
so you don't want to start out with an ugly star.
No,
right?
you want to use a good chocolate.
We want a beautiful star.
Beautiful stars.
Yes. Then we have a cup of cream and only 3 tablespoons of butter, and that's it.
That's it.
Super easy.
And you just bring the cream to the boil like we have here. We're going to pour the cream onto the chocolate very carefully. You can do this in a bowl as well. We just prefer to use this kind of container because it's a little bit easier with the immersion blender. We're going to let that sit just for a minute so the temperature exchange can happen. We like using an immersion blender. It's the best thing to use for making a ganache or making an emulsion. You can also use a whisk. If you're going to use a whisk at home, you definitely want to melt the chocolate just a little bit before you actually add the cream. Totally. In the microwave for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, make sure you do it gently, and you don't want to scald anything or burn anything.
Gotcha.
So now we've got a little bit of time has passed. The temperature has exchanged a little bit. I'm going to start immersing. What you want to do when you enter into the liquid, you want to come in at an angle so it reduces the air. A little quick tip for you.
There are a few things that can break your ganache down, and one of them is air. So we want to avoid putting air bubbles into this. You don't want to bring the blender up too high. You want to keep it down in the mixture itself. How are we going there? Yeah, absolutely.
So the way you explained it, it's like a science experiment.
It's just chemistry.
That's all it is.
Just chemistry.
Just chemistry. It's just a little bit of chemistry. Well, this is just an easy pop quiz.
Okay.
We're sure you can do that. All right, so we have most of the emulsion done here. Butter's gotten just a little bit soft. Room temperature is great. We're going to add the butter in, and then we're going to just do a little bit more. The butter is going to allow 2 things. It's going to make it really beautiful and glossy, and it is also going to make our emulsion a little bit more stable.
And it's going to give it a very rich taste.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And it's going to make it nice and shiny.
Now, we can buy these if we don't make them.
Absolutely. We have all of these available at 7th Street Public Market. We certainly do.
Okay.
Correct.
And this is what we're looking for at the end. This is a, you can just set that down on the sheet pan. This is a properly done emulsion. You can see it looks really glossy. It looks like mayonnaise. It has a little bit of a jiggle. This is going to hold its shape, but obviously it's not at this state yet. So we're just going to pour it into a pan. Best to line your pan with saran wrap. That way you're not scraping and trying to get it all off of there.
container. Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't that look horrible?
We've only got about 60 seconds left.
Excellent. So you're just going to pop this in the fridge?
Yep.
And then you're going to come over to these guys here. This is one that's already been in the fridge.
This is our finished product. And what you do is you basically just take a little bit, wear gloves, of course, ball it up, and then you can toss it into some cocoa powder. We've also got desiccated coconut and some chopped nuts as well that make wonderful coatings. You just drop it in there,
roll it around,
swirl it around, and then you have a finished truffle.
You can also infuse the cream with lots of different stuff. You can do spices, you can do citrus. If you do citrus peel, you have to be careful. Add a little bit of sugar and wait until it's warm so it doesn't curdle. You can do teas. You can just let your imagination run with those.
You're making us
Go
hungry.
crazy.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Ramona.
Bar Chocolate is the name. 7th Street Market is the location. And you can find the recipe on WCNC.com/Charlotte today.